Hey guys, we are in the basement, and yesterday guys, on this episode of John's Arcade, well guys, this is it. We're going to the garage. Yeah, we're going back. When's the last time we were in the garage? I have no idea. So yeah, we're going out there. We're gonna work on the Bronco. Yeah, this is part number 3 of the 1977 Gottlieb EM Pinball Bronco. And the last time we did a video on this, I don't even know, was it a year ago, 2 years ago? I have no idea. So I'm excited to go back to the garage and get back to work on the Bronco. I actually want to get that thing working 100% and bring it down here. And you know, I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about the Bronco. I even got one here today from Azaria. He says, "Hi, what's up in Bronco Pinball? When we see this video," he says. Well, today, right now. So anyway, enough of that. Let's just go to the garage and get to work on the Gottlieb Bronco Pinball. All right, guys, we are back in the garage. Yes, I'm excited. So I'm very excited, actually, to get back to work on the Gottlieb Bronco. Yes, this is a 1977 Gottlieb Bronco. It is a EM, an electromechanical pinball machine. It's very different for me. Now, I picked this up a couple years ago, and we did a video way back then, and I actually don't even remember what we did, you know. So we're continuing the series now, and I really want to try to finish this fall. So let's kind of review really fast. I guess in the previous videos, what did we do? We actually got it to fire up by playing with the relays on the bottom, and we're going to kind of continue there in this video. And also, I did pick up some parts for this game. I got a set of rubbers here from Pinball Restore. I got some files here. These are called like Flexstone. And this is what you're supposed to use on the little leaf switches. And then I got this one, this metal file here that you're supposed to use on the higher voltage, like tungsten type switches. So when we get into this, we'll figure out which one to use and where. I did get one of these little switch adjustment tools that they sell at Pinball Restore. Prior to the video here, off camera, I replaced the leg levelers. They were all rusted. You can see down there. So I went through and replaced those. Actually, that was a big job because they were seriously rusted on. These are the ones that were on there. And you could just see that they were just a giant mess and they were completely rusted on. So what I did was I took some of this cutting oil. You could probably use liquid wrench too, but this actually really helped get them off, and I used some vice grips. It took me like a half hour just to get those leg levelers off. So anyway, I put some shorter leg levelers in the front and then some taller ones in the back. And then hopefully we'll, you know, once we get the game done, we can kind of level it off and see what we're looking at. But I want the game to play fast. That's kind of my goal here. So anyway, I put it all together here. It's standing up in the middle of the garage. We do need to kind of plug everything in the back. So why don't we go back here and do that? Because all I've done really is just screw the head down with 2 carriage bolts right here. And then it has like these kind of interesting kind of connectors that make the power connections from the body, I guess, to the head. So we'll go ahead and make these. And then, and luckily it's such a way that you can't really screw it up. The connectors can only go in one spot here. It's kind of crude, but it really works, right? All right, so everything is connected now. And let's plug it in and see what happens. Now, I haven't, actually, we had this game in the basement over the winter, didn't we, last year? And I didn't really play it because it doesn't work. But let's plug it in and see what happens. I know there's no ball in it, so we're going to have to do that. Take care of that here in a second. All right, so we plugged it in. And the glass came, back glass is lit. So if we press the button here, nothing happens. And I don't know if we could try to coin it up. I remember that like the, take a look down here. Where's our micro switches? For the coin, that's right. All right. Oh, look at that. So the credit, okay, so it actually coined up there. So look back here. So you see that? That 1? That means there's 1 credit in the game, right? So it should start now if we press the button, and it doesn't, okay? So nothing's happening. It's not resetting at all. So what do we do now? I know I don't have a ball in here. I actually have some balls in my bag here. Let me grab a ball. Let's pull the glass off. Whoa. And you want to be really careful with the glass, especially with the cement floor, because this is tempered glass. And if you just kind of just ding that corner the right way, and the thing will just turn into diamonds in your hands. They just like shatter. I shattered the back glass on my Whirlwind a long time ago. I had it on top of the playfield and it slid off, and it just broke into a million little pieces. So, all right, let's throw a pinball in here. I don't think this is going to make a difference, but let's put one in anyway, because I have one right here. And I'll try starting the game now. Yeah, nothing happens here. So we've got a credit on the credit wheel, and it should start, right? But it's not. So let's lift it up and see what we're looking at. Boy. And let's get the ball out of here. All right, I'll get that back there. So let's lift up the play field. Okay, like so. And then let me grab the ball back there. All right, so we're going to become pretty familiar with these relays down here. There's the AX and BX relay that I believe is part of the start sequence, which is, here's the AX right here. So if I can manually, there we go. So what just happened? That one is stuck. I could hear it. Let me turn this off. Okay, so what you're supposed to be able to do with those relays is they should kind of like click in and out. And I remember when I got this game to fire up, I was basically coming over here and hitting this, I believe. But that seems like it's pretty good. The BX one does not. So you're supposed to be able to like kind of click the plastic, right? And then you should be able to return it when you release it. Like, I don't know if you can hear this one. The AX one is working perfect. So the AX, it says, is the reset control relay. The BX is the game over relay. So I'm wondering if it's just kind of stuck in game over mode. Let me see if we can pull this out. There's a pin in the back. We could pull this entire tray out and take all of this out, but let's just see if we can work on it like this. So it's not returning. Yeah, this one's not clicking at all. Yeah, it's actually kind of stuck. Yep. So where's it getting hung up here? So again, if you look at the AX one, how fluid it is, it's kind of like, see, I have a good camera angle here. So this one, if we push on this, which kind of simulates, there's a little like relay here that pulls it in and then makes contact with all these switches. So the AX one is totally doing what it's supposed to do. but the BX is not. So we have to kind of adjust these switches, I think. Is it out of the slots it's supposed to be in? Yeah, see, when I release it, it just doesn't go back. So I'm wondering if this switch here is in the wrong hole. There's like slots that they're supposed to be in. This is kind of awkward to work on. Let me see if I can get a good spot in there. There. I think this one is supposed to go. Let me see. No, it doesn't return. Oh, now it does. Now it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's totally fluid now. It was kind of bound up. I think one of the switches was in the wrong slot. Because if you look closely, there's a piece of plastic right here, right? And these leaf switches go into the plastic. And so when the relay pulls it, it's either putting the switches together or spreading them apart. And then each of these switches goes on to the rest of the playfield to do some kind of thing, you know. And now it's behaving the way it should. Let's put it back in and see what happens. I'm not sure I have it in the right. I think I do though. And it just goes like that, and then you drop the pin in. Very awkward. Wait, I just want to make sure it still works. It doesn't. This one came out. Alright. We might be able to just leave it there before I put the pin in. Let's try that. Alright, let's coin it up. Do we still have a credit? We do. Oh, look at that. I think we just fixed the game. Did I really get that lucky? I can see the score reel in the back is hung up. So right now it's going through the reset circuit, resetting everything. So we should be able to play now. All right, I'm gonna turn it off. Let's put the cotter pin, or the little pin, whatever you want to call it, that holds the relay in, back on. Let me see if I can find some needle nose pliers. Where's my pliers? See if I could do it without it. Game's off. This is all AC voltage too. Okay. Pin's back on. All right, let's lower the playfield. Let's see if we can really do that again. All right, I'm gonna turn it on. All right, so there's no credit in there right now. Let's throw a ball in it. I'm gonna credit it up. Okay, so that credit reel is kind of sticky, but it's working. All right, let's see if it starts. So it's going through its thing. Don't tell me I fixed it that easily. I know there's a lot of little, like right now, what's it doing? The reels are all gummed up, I think. All right, it just did its thing. So let's see if it actually plays though, because I think the games endlessly go on. Chimes are working. This game is slow. And not level, maybe. All right, so it's doing a one-player game, right? We gotta pay attention to that. No, it's doing it. We're on player 2 right now. Flippers are really weak. This flipper is just like whack. It's so slow. Something tells me that's not right. Yeah, something is out of whack here. What is it doing? All right, let's turn it off. All right, I'm gonna coin it up again. I just want to see if it's still gonna start. No, it's not coining up now. All right, well that was short-lived. I'm trying to coin it up and it's just not happening. All right, well let's kind of go down the line, and you know, I don't know where we should focus. Should we focus on that relay bank that's at the bottom? Oh, look at this. Did we see this before? Bonnie Loves Donnie, 1979. So there's this stepper unit here that we might want to take apart and clean and grease. So this could be why, like, what just happened. This here is the coin unit, right? The credit unit. And there is a way to just kind of bypass this and do free play. I should research that online. There's like a simple hack here that will just give you free play. You don't have to ever use this credit reel again. And then here's all the scoring reels that we're gonna have to take apart and clean individually. And there's just 1,000 gazillion switches in here. So there's just a ton of switches and relays and contacts and just all kinds of things that we need to clean, check, adjust, what have you. But I want to try to do this in a somewhat scientific way where we can just kind of have little victories and keep moving forward. Like I felt like we just did there, but it seems like we're right back where we were. I don't know if it thinks there's a... Let's take a look underneath here again. So if I were to come in here... So this is the game over relay. So now it's closed, so the game is over. Let's see if something happens here. We're not getting any credits. So I wonder if I advance the credit relay manually, will that do anything for us? It's not moving. There it is. Wait. Yeah, this thing's gummed up. Okay, so we have a bunch of credits now in there. So if we were to look in the back glass, it says we have 5 credits. So let's see if it starts now. No. Boy, this is gonna be a real learning experience, isn't it? There goes the ball. All right, let's see if I can just... So if the AX relay fires, then all the good stuff happens here. But why wasn't it firing? So now it's actually resetting the game if I fire that manually, but it should be firing when I press the start button. So let me start it. Now it works. This really does remind me when I was a kid at campgrounds in probably the late 70s that had, there's one, I'm sure I've told this story, but there was one campground that we used to go to in like Galena, Illinois, and they had asteroids and some kind of cowboy and Indian themed EM pin, and I used to play it, and this really reminds me of that. Just the sounds and everything. Oh, it's still one player. Ooh. It didn't advance to player 2. But it says ball in play 1. Huh. This time it didn't advance to the second player, which is good because I started a 1-player game. Let's just lose and see what happens. But it's not counting the balls correctly. So, how many balls? It says 5 balls per player. So this should be the 5th one. Yeah, it's just, it has no concept of how many balls there are. And now it's scoring on player 2. All right, let's see what happens if we turn it off again. And so cleared all the credits out. Let's see if I can coin it up again. Oh, it worked. Interesting. So I just started the game and there was 2 credits in there and it took both the credits away. So there's a stepper unit back here, and I'm not positive, but I think that this is keeping track. This is like the player unit, I believe, and I think maybe we should focus on this right now. And this is what's kind of keep. Let me, like, I'll shoot a ball here, and let's kind of watch what happens back here. So when the ball goes in, I'm wondering if that moves. I want to watch what happens when we turn the game. Let's see if we can get lucky and get the game to start again. So I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to try to coin it up. All right, good. It's taking the credit. So let's start the game and watch what happens back here. Okay, see that? Is it getting hung up? Okay, so that was interesting. So this thing's going all around, hitting all these contacts, and then making everything kind of fire and stuff, I think is what's happening there. But I believe... Did it just move? Let me see. Let's see what happens when we advance this. I'm gonna look on the front and see if the... Yeah, that's changing the player. That's player 4. Now it's on a different player. I can see the lights changing on the front. Is it stuck there? So what does it think is happening right? Oh, it says ball in play 2. Okay, so that is totally changing the ball. So I think this is supposed to advance when the ball drains. Now it says ball in play 3. But we're on player 4, by the way. It still says ball in play 3, but it switched players to player 1, I think. It says ball in play 3. I think we're on player 2 right now. Ball in play 3. I think we're in player 3 right now. I'm dropping the ball. Ball in play 3. I think it's on... It should be on player 4, but it's not. Now it's on player 4. Ball in play 3. Now it says ball in play 4, but it didn't advance to player 1. All right, this is interesting. I'm just throwing... I don't know what you guys see back there. It says ball in play 4 right now. Okay, there, it just moved. See that? Now it says ball in play 5. The game just ended. The game's over. Okay, so it just actually ended a game. That, I don't know what I did, but obviously this has something to do with all of that. So, on the bottom here, this is called the player unit. I think we should clean this. Look at all these switches. I want to focus on this. I feel like we're kind of in good shape here with the reset thing on the bottom, now that we got the switch in the right spot. Let's see if it coins up right now. Yeah, it's working. See, this reel, though, back here is gummed up, though. It didn't go all the way. You see that? It's kind of in between 0 and 1, so we got to clean that too. Right there. See how it's in between 0 and 1? So if I give it a little nudge here with a credit, now it says 1. So the reels are resetting. What is stuck right now? All right, well, it's fired the ball. Okay, so let's... I'm just trying to deduce what's going on here. Okay, so it's scoring on player 1. I'm gonna drain the ball. See, it's not, ball in play is not changing here at all. So let's drain again. Now no, it still says 1. So if you look here, see where it says ball in play? I wonder if I manually move the player unit forward, what happens? I think it just moved to player 2. So this is ball 1 from player 2. So let's drain it. So I think this is ball 1 for player 3. This should be wall. It's not that. What player are we on? I think if we get further down in the little routine of this thing, it starts working again. Okay, let me just see what happens. I just advanced it 1. Still says ball 1. But I don't know what player we're on. I kind of need to change those bulbs for the players. It says tilt. Yeah, it's still on ball 1. So if we were to advance this a whole bunch, let's just see what happens. Now, okay, yeah, see now it says ball in play 2. So we're on player 1 right now, ball 2, but it's staying on that. It's not getting out of it. So maybe it goes, Let's see what happens now. Yeah, I think that thing is sticking. Yeah, it's on ball 3. Okay, so if I were to come in here, and I'm looking at the front of the game, there's ball 4 right there. Player 4, ball 4. There, that's game over. That's ball 5. I think the game just ended. There. I think that's game over, I think. Yeah, the game's over now. So right now the game is... Oh no, the ball came back and it came back alive. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's clean that thing up. Let's see what's going on and see if we can I just turned the game off. So let's pull this pin here and just see what happens. I'm not sure how this comes off. So there's 2 pins here, one on this side, one on that side. All right, and then what happens? So we do have 2 screws here and 1 here. So I think if we remove this whole thing should just come right off. So I need a standard screwdriver. We're gonna figure this out. I guarantee you we're gonna figure this out. Okay, so here's the whole unit here. Okay, so we've got all of these switches here, right? So we could definitely clean these. I mean, it seems to work. So you can see how this thing works. As this thing rotates right here, it's like a cam here with these little notches and stuff, and they activate the switches and differently depending on where the cam is. Oh, look at this. Ew, it's hair. Right there, it seemed like it was gummed up right there. It wasn't advancing. Seems like it works actually relatively well. So this right here, let's see when that gets activated. See, it just stopped. It just got gummed up right there. When does this one get activated? Is this thing broken? So there's this black wheel right here that is never seemingly activating this one. I think that the plastic broke off on this. Oh, there it is. That's where it activates right there. So here's a little thing. So as that comes around, that's where it's getting hung up. Right there. Every time it gets hung up on that. Do you see that? I wonder if there's too much pressure on these switches, too much down pressure. So what's pressing down on it? This? Let me see as it goes around. Let's see if we ease up this pressure. Okay, here it comes. So let me see if I ease up the pressure on this a little bit. If it does it. So it didn't get hung up that time. So I'm wondering if we bend this back just a little bit. And you could see that someone tried adjusting that, by the way. Yep, it can't do it. All right, let's adjust that a little bit and see if we can make it do its whole cycle there. We actually found something there. So I'm gonna bend this back just a little bit, just to kind of take some pressure off of this, because as the black cam part comes around, there's a little like nipple on there that's supposed to push on this and make contact with these switches, right? But there's too much downforce on this that there's not enough oomph to get it up. And right now, so I have to bend, let's see. But there should be a gap here. Or no, that should be making contact. So when it goes up, I'm trying to see what's supposed to happen. Okay, so when it goes up, this switch makes contact with that, and then this comes undone. So let's come in here. Let's see how that is. Now we're not touching that at all. Went too far. So when it goes up, it pulls those two apart. Let's see how it works now. Let's see. All right, here it comes. It did it. All right, so let's see. So those two should be. This should be making contact here, and then these two should be apart right now. And I believe they are. Let's put this back in here and see if the game behaves any differently now. You know, there's Clay Harrell, who runs pinrepair.com, has really documented this stuff. I'm going to be reading a lot over the next few days after this video, and then we'll come back and I'll be smarter. And by the way, you should really check out his videos, This Old Pinball. They're just amazing. I've watched all of them like 5 times each, at least. This Old Pinball, they're like on DVD. Some of this stuff's on YouTube, but it's definitely the best pinball stuff out there by far. All right, I'm going to leave the pins out. I'm going to turn the game on and see if it behaves any differently. So let's coin up. Game's on. Okay. All right, I'm going to start a game. So what's going on right now exactly? So it's trying to do all these. There that goes. So that's obviously the start position for that. So let's just see if anything different happens here. Still says ball 1. So where does it need to be for ball 2? Let me just see something. So that's player 2, I believe. That's player 4. There. Okay, so that's exactly what it does. So it's probably is on a 1-player game, it's supposed to advance to here for the second ball, and it's not doing it for whatever reason. And it could have something to do with the relay on the bottom, because what tells this thing to fire, right? Something has to happen over here for this thing to start doing its thing, right? Because this thing is stupid. I mean, this thing is, everything here is dumb, right? So something happens, the ball goes down there, something fires, I'm guessing, on the bottom of the playfield that then tells this thing to advance 4 places for ball 2, so this right here is player 2, ball 2. I mean, player 1, ball 2 is this right here. It's exactly where it should have advanced to when the ball drained, right? So now if I drain right now, it's still player 1, ball 2. So it should have went like this. Watch, let me see. So that's player 2, ball 1, ball 2, player 3, ball 2, player 4, ball 2, and now this is player 1, ball 3. Yep, exactly. So it should have went, and then when the ball drained, right to there for a 1-player game. So what? Yeah, now it's still on player 1, ball 3. It's not advancing. This is not firing when it's supposed to. So what tells this to fire? It's probably one of the relays underneath. It's got to be. All right, I got the ball out. So let me see here. Let's look at what these relays are called. Okay, so we have all these relays here. All right. So this is the reset relay, which is working right now. The game over relay, I would say, is working if that's the one that fires when the last ball is drained, because we were able to kind of make the game go into game over, right? The next one is the first ball relay. All right, here we go. Then the second shoot relay. Add a player relay. Okay, so this is all, okay, so first ball relay is the, oh, it's on this side. Okay, I see. Oh, okay, so I get it. So there's a strip of paper down the middle here. So it goes like this. Reset control relay. This is the game over relay right here. This is the last ball BX relay, which we adjusted. Here's the first ball relay right here. Here's the ball return relay, second shoot relay. What just happened there? Let me just turn it off. Add player unit relay, start relay, bonus score relay. This says replay button, left hole, tilt hold, hold, add points, hold relay, 300 point tilt relay, series relay, ball shooter relay. So I think we should work on ball return relay, which is this one. Or no, or maybe the first ball relay. Let's see. Add player unit, replay button, left hole, tilt hold, right hole, hold relay. And then right here is the first coin shoot adjustment. No, that, okay, I see that's what that is for. These are kind of, over here is kind of like the dip switches in a way. If you guys can see down here. So depending on where that is, you could do 1 coin, 1 play, 2 coins, 3 plays. So this is kind of the dip switches. So this is the coinage here, depending on where these jumpers are. So this is for 1 play, this is 1 coin, and then this is second shoot, 1 coin, 1 play. Okay. So this unit here, what's this guy all about? What I want to know is that when the ball drains, what is supposed to fire? Which one of these is supposed to fire? Because I think if we could figure that out, we're going to really get somewhere here. This is the coin unit. Let's not worry about that. The coin stuff seems to be working. Let's take a look at the one that says ball return. Does this one behave the right way? Let's pull it out. Ball return. Well, the ball return is working, right? Is it the first ball relay that we want to look at? So the configurations on these ones is different than the AX and the BX. Don't think they work the same. First ball relay. So when this thing pulls in, I want to pull one of these out just so we can see how it works. Let's pull the first ball relay out. Okay. so let's see how this works. How does it release? Oh boy, this thing's burnt up. I think we just found a problem right here. This coil is fried. Alright, I think I just found something here. This coil is totally toast. Alright, let's take that apart. Let's get that coil out of there. Yeah, this is all burnt up. Alright, let's see if we can get it out. Look at that thing. Alright, well, we totally just found something. We 100% found something there. Look at this. Look at how burnt up it is. There's no way that still works. We could probably put our meter on it and see what happens. Let's see. We'll compare it to like a one next to it or something, see what kind of readings we get. Alright, so let's put our, I guess we'll try ohms here. I would imagine we would get very high resistance here. 0.6. So can we compare it to one next to it? I can't imagine that thing works. All right, let's pull. We'll pull another one just so we can kind of compare. Let's see what happens if we read the one next to it. Assuming they're the same. Yeah, 40 high ohms. So we're getting very low resistance. Seven ohms. And then this one. .6. So very low resistance on that one. Meaning there's some kind of a short or something, right? All right, well, I'm gonna order this part without a doubt. We have to replace this. And I'm curious to see though, like, how does this behave when this thing fires? So when it fires, it just basically pulls this thing back. Is that what happens? Yeah, I think that's all that happens. It just goes back. So let's put this guy back in here. So when it fires, it just goes back. So let's do an experiment to see if I just make this go back, if the balls advance at all. We gotta be careful though, because we got these. I don't want to desolder this right now. I suppose I could. Nah. Let's just be careful and make sure we don't touch anything with that. Yeah, get this pin back in. Awkward. Okay. All right, so this one, I want to just kind of put that there, and then I'm going to simulate this to see if anything happens. Let's leave it alone. Actually, let me see what happens here. Okay, so let's coin up. Okay, I'm gonna start the game. Oh, we're not. Credit reel's sticking. It's not quite on one credit. What happened? I wonder if this thing is supposed to be back right now. Alright, I just want to see what happens. The game's not starting now. Okay, I just manually made it start. Okay, I guess it just fired the ball, or let me see something. So if I were to engage this, I'm curious if yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter though. Whatever, we have to replace that coil. I don't like how it's just dangling right there. Let me turn it off. All right, well, I feel like we got somewhere. I'm gonna order that part, and I'm gonna do a bunch of research. I think we're gonna stop here, honestly, because I think that I need to get that fixed, and we just need to do one thing at a time. And also, I do want to do some research and read up on it. We can certainly talk about it in the comments below. What do you guys think? Did we get somewhere? I think we did, actually. We got the game to actually start up. We adjusted the BX relay. We found a burnt up coil that is the ball 1, and that could be the whole problem why this is not advancing and why that unit back there. I think we fixed the stepper unit too. It's not getting hung up anymore. We can double check that. The player unit. Let's see. There, that's the last one. We should put those pins back in for now. I do want to clean this thing eventually. So what I see that's happening is it's not advancing the balls. It's going from player to player to player to player and not advancing the balls. So we have to figure out, I think that ball 1 coil, that's got to be it, right? Because that's what's supposed to fire. Maybe every time it drains, that thing fires and then advances this thing. I don't know. Let's talk about it. So, all right, let's go back down to the basement and do some viewer mail. What do you guys think? It feels good to be out here, though, doesn't it? It does. All right, guys, let's go back to the basement. Woot. All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number 3 of the Gottlieb Bronco Pinball Restore. What'd you think, huh? Well, you know what? Not a lot happened, really, but we found some stuff. You know, this is kind of the first video here. We're beginning our Gottlieb investigation, and I feel like we're on the right track here. So I'm going to order that coil. Okay, I'm going to order that like right away, and we'll get that coil in here, and we'll start the next video by replacing that coil, and we'll see what happens. And I got to do a lot of research, too, because I want to know what happens when the ball drains. Like, obviously, is it that coil that fires that then advances the player unit to ball 2? So something is telling that player unit to advance to ball 2, and that something is not working right now. Was it that coil that was fried, the ball 1 coil? And by the way, why is it called the ball 1 coil? Because what happens to ball 2 and ball 3, 4, and 5? So I'm guessing that ball 1 coil potentially fires every time the ball drains. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll replace that coil. So anyway, let's move on. Let's do some viewer mail. If you guys want to participate in the viewer mail, you got to email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com. john@johnsarcade.com. It can be a question, it can be a comment, it can be anything. john@johnsarcade.com. First one here is from Ethan. Hey John, I am a 16-year-old from the UK, and I wanted to say that you're the main reason I want an arcade cabinet when I'm in my own house. I'd probably look for MAME cabinets, as I wouldn't have the money to even try and get a dedicated machine of any sort. I've always been into retro games due to playing the NES and Mega Drive games with my dad, and also by watching Classic Game Room. Anyway, John, thanks for the videos, and keep it up, from Ethan. Ethan, well, that's cool, man. Get one. You know what, though? I know you want to do the MAME cabinet, which is fine. It's probably a great way to start, honestly. But I know there's a lot of UK guys out there. Maybe you can go to the, is it the UK VAC forum? And maybe you can find some kind of, I would love to see get a dedicated one and start there. But hey, MAME is cool too, though. I mean, just get in there and start tinkering, I guess. It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? So do whatever you need to do, Ethan. So that's very cool. Thanks for the email. All right, this next one here is from Winfield. I'm not sure if I read it. My question was for you to show us in videos how to make a bar top arcade or a regular size arcade with an already wired and put together Pandora's box. There's a Heroes box on eBay, has over 2,000 games. This would make everything easier. Would not be like a Miss Pac-Man with a JAMA board adapter to a PC. This would be neater and cleaner. And I know you have extra CRTs and CRT TVs. CRT TVs sell for $5 to $20 at thrift stores. You could make the video, and many people would like that because it would be something you built yourself, not a cabinet you bought that the factory made, and you bought it over 30 years after it was made. Build it out of oak or hardwood and plywood. Will not stand as long as hardwood will. Thanks. My name's Winfield. So, Winfield, this has come up a lot. You know, people want me to build a from-scratch cabinet. You know, if I were to build one of those, though, I don't think I would do a Pandora's box. I think I would do something kind of unique. Like, I would love to build a Crazy Kong cabaret. I know that one guy on the John's Arcade forums posted some photos of his Crazy Kong cabaret that he built from scratch. Boy, that thing is cool. Like, I want to do something like that, you know. Having a multi-game honestly doesn't interest me that much, but, you know, I think it would be kind of fun to build some kind of a retro pie. Maybe I'll get a Pandora's box and we could put it in the Mortal Kombat and see what happens with that. But I don't know if I personally would want to build a from-scratch Pandora's box cabinet. That doesn't sound exciting to me. Like, I want, like, cool artwork and a theme, like Crazy Kong. I could really run with that, you know, or try to make it look like the original Zaccaria one, but in a cabaret form. That, to me, is badass. So, we'll see. I know, it's just a function of time, honestly. So, all right, moving on. It's from Kevin. Hello, John. I've been watching your show for some time now and has been an invaluable resource for getting my arcade machines up and running. Do you think installing a line level converter and an audio amp would help to bulletproof games that are known to have sound issues? My reasoning is that it would allow me to safely adjust the volume to the speakers without driving the onboard amp on the game PCB too hard. Thank you, Kevin Hoover. All right, so what's he asking here? So games that are notorious for having sound problems. The first ones that come to mind are the Gottliebs, Q*bert and Mad Planets. Those are the ones that I probably have had the most problems with the sound. There's an audio amp chip on there that is a little out of spec, a little underpowered for the voltage, and there's like a modern replacement you could put in there that guys recommend. And that's what I did, I believe, on my Q*bert and the Mad Planets, that Jay now has, by the way. Yeah, I guess, so what he's asking, though, is that, so a line level converter will basically take the amplified, correct me if I'm wrong, this is my understanding, it'll take the amplified audio that came out of the game PCB, and then it would lower it to line level, okay, which has no amplification, and then you would run that into a modern amplifier that would then go to the speakers, and then the end result, he thinks, would be taking pressure off the original sound amp or board or whatever. I don't think that would be worth it, honestly, because I've owned a lot of games, and Jay and I operate a lot of games. I don't see a lot of sound problems. You know, it was just the Gottliebs that I had sound issues with. So I don't think I wouldn't go through the trouble personally. You guys leave comments below. Kevin, I would probably just not do this unless it's some mega rare game. But then you're kind of, I guess you're not really hacking it that much. You're just splicing into the wires to the speaker, adding the line level converter, then a modern amp, and then I guess in turn that takes pressure off the audio amp and the resistance from the speaker because it's lowering it down to line level, I guess. But I've never ever thought of that. Again, the only game that I ever had really serious audio problems with was Mad Planets, and there's a lot of documentation now on how to overcome that with the better audio amps and stuff. So, I don't know. Leave comments below. What do you guys think of Kevin's idea here? Is it a good one? Next one is from Michael. It says, so now... I guess I printed a bunch today. So now that I'm almost to 20 machines, I'm starting to obsess about monitors. He says, I have several with no burn and several with light burn that you can't see with the bezel. So do you think these will get any worse since they'll only be on 50 hours or so a year instead of 15 hours a day? They once were on, and with all the Craigslist hunts and other things you've taught us, where can we find monitors? Or what are your thoughts on converting 19-inch TVs or CRTs? FYI, I need 3 Sanyo EZs with no burn and cap kits, LOL, and willing to pay. Michael. Okay, so he's obsessing about monitor burn. Yeah, I was like that at one point. Some games are worse than others, like Gyrus. I remember that had the worst monitor burn ever, and I had to replace that instantly. Other games I have down here have some burn, but you can't really see it. Actually, the Mortal Kombat has burned. We're going to go over there in a second, by the way, but I'll show you. There's a light burn on the Mortal Kombat that doesn't really bother me because I worked hard to get that monitor working, and the burn just does. I don't really seem to see it, but it's there. And obviously the only way to fix that is to replace the tube or the monitor completely. And he's asking, where do you find monitors? Well, when I started collecting, I would get games, that were missing monitors, but otherwise complete, and then I would go out there and try to find junk games on Craigslist that were practically free. I would take the monitors out of those games and then just give the cabinet away. My Paperboy has a monitor I removed from a converted NARC or whatever. It was a NARC of some sorts that wasn't working, and that NARC, I gave the NARC away, and then the monitor is in my Paperboy. So I was doing things like that. I remember buying a seriously waterlogged, unrestorable Donkey Kong. Actually, it was in a fire, right? Yeah, it was in a fire, and I pulled the 20 EZ out of it. So I guess you got to keep looking for junk games, look for converted games. Now, the Sanyo 20 EZs are very specific, you know. But what you'll find, though, on Craigslist, I've seen before, is that someone will convert a Nintendo game to something else, and then that's an opportunity to grab the Sanyo 20 EZ, right? So instead of looking for Nintendo stuff on Craigslist, you should actually just be searching for generic arcade cabs, because it could be, who knows what JAMA game someone put in a Nintendo cabinet that might be $100, and there's your Sanyo 20 EZ. So that's one way. You obviously keep looking and looking. I know that, I feel like Craigslist right now is in a decline. I feel like there's less games for sale. I'm not seeing them as much anymore. And I've been looking more lately than I was like 6 months ago, and I'm just not seeing the games out there. And I don't know if it's because people moved to Facebook. I don't know if it's people are on Let's Go or Offer Up, but I feel like the market has been divided now quite a bit. And I believe that Let's Go, Offer Up, and Facebook are really eating into Craigslist, and as a result, you almost have to just pay attention to all of them, which is super annoying. So I've been trying to go like on Let's Go and Offer Up more, just to see if there's stuff out there, and checking Craigslist. But I haven't been seeing a lot of stuff lately, but I've been seeing a lot of junk, you know, that would yield you a monitor, just junk that at this point in time I don't want. So and as far as converting 19-inch TVs to monitors, I've never done that. I know that you could probably get a CGA converter that would allow you to do that. I just have never personally pursued that at all, and I probably never will. For me, you know, it's these arcade monitors or nothing. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not interested in LCDs or trying LCDs. I'm not interested in converting a television. I'm okay with taking a compatible tube from a TV. I did that with my 720 over there, and that has a 25-inch TV tube, but the original chassis that was in there. So I don't know, Michael, did I answer your question? You know, the answer a lot of times is you just got to keep looking and asking, you know. All right, let's move on. Next one here is from Gary. Says, hi, John. Gary here. Really pleased you got to the end of the Mortal Kombat 2 project. I'm sure you'll love it. I am really pleased, too, by the way, Gary. He says, did you know about the secret menu that was only recently discovered on the MK2 cabs? Give it a go, he says, and sends me a link. I believe the link here, I can't click on it now because I have a piece of paper, but I believe this link goes to a video from a gentleman called Your MK Resource, who has a YouTube channel that I think is mostly dedicated to Mortal Kombat. Your pal in the north of England, Gary. All right, so what's he talking about? So this video that is on the MK Resource YouTube channel shows a button combination that you could put into Mortal Kombat to get into a secret menu that Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, put in the code, okay? He put this secret in Mortal Kombat so that the reason he did this was so he could impress his friends, right? So he could go to any game in any bar or arcade, go up to it, and he only knew this code, and then he can get into a secret menu and he could see things. And you guys want to do it? We could do it right now. I've actually tried it. Now, when I do... my microphone just came off. Hang on. When I do the final Mortal Kombat video, which I will do, I'll do this again. But since we got the viewer mail here, why don't we do it right now? By the way, I've been playing Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to tell you this. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. This game is so much harder than freaking Street Fighter 2, man. It really is. You know, I played this game on like the Super Nintendo and stuff. I had it, and I never got good at the arcade version of it, and I haven't yet. I printed out the moves, though. I'm trying to get good at it. I'm trying to learn this stuff, so I got all the moves printed out here. But anyway, let's see what this viewer mail is talking about here. So I found this thread on a website, and it was Your MK Arcade Source. He made a post here talking about how he figured out or discovered or someone told him these combinations to get into the Ed Boon menu. And you could do this on Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3. So for Mortal Kombat 2, you have to use the block buttons, okay, which is this block button and that block button. And basically what you do is you go 5 times, 10 times, 2 times, 8 times, 2 times. And if we do that in the right rhythm and fast enough will get a secret menu. And again, Ed Boon did this so he could walk into any bar or arcade, go up to an Mortal Kombat, and get into a secret menu and impress his friends. So let's try it here. So we have to go, I've done this a few times now, so hopefully I could do it again. All right, you ready? So we have to go 5, 10, 5, 5, 10, 2, 8, 2. Okay, ready? Look at that, first try. First try! That's how you do it. All right, so here's the secret menu. Okay, so this is the Mortal Kombat 2 Ed J. Boon menu, revision 3.1. That's my ROM version. So he could go up to any Mortal Kombat in any bar and arcade and get in this menu and learn all kinds of things. Now I have to give the guy credit though, because he didn't allow you to get a free game. Okay. Because, you know, if you were the creator of this game, what would you do? Oh, I'd make it so I could play the game for free at any Mortal Kombat, you know? But what he did is it allowed you to get in the diagnostic tests, okay? You could do all these tests here, okay? So I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you could get into that, okay? And how do we get back here? Return to main menu, okay? You can do coin bookkeeping, coin audits. So he could see, like, how much... if there's security chip failures, error traps, system lockups, illegal opcodes. Look at that. Illegal opcodes. What do you think that means? Hours the game has been on, you know, so this game here, by the way, I have to tell you something. So hours the game was on. My Mortal Kombat right here has been on for 48 hours, 26 and 10 minutes. That is 100% factual. Because what happened was this, so right now the Mortal Kombat is plugged into a power strip under my desk, right? And the rest of the arcade is controlled by the switches at the top of my stairs. So my friend Matt was over, or actually I had it on like on a Friday or something. Yeah, that's right. My wife and I came down here on a Friday and we played games, okay? And this was on. And then I turned the arcade off. I came back down on Sunday and this game was still on. It was on for 2 days. Because when I turned the power switches off at the top of the stairs, it didn't turn this off because this is plugged into a power strip. So anyway, yes, this game has been on for 48 hours and it still works. So I guess I burnt it in. I did a burn-in test, right? Hours played with one player, 34 minutes. Hours played with two players, 20 minutes. So I played 55 minutes roughly of this game. 20 minutes was with Matt. 38 total plays. Continues. Clue counter, next audit page. So you can see how many times the characters were chosen. So Scorpion was chosen the most. Matt and I were doing Scorpion. Highest battle reach, winning streaks, reset count. So this is probably interesting information to Ed, maybe for the next patch or whatever, right? So let's go to the main menu. You could adjust the volume, so he could change the volume on whoever. Hello, okay, so this is a very secret thing here. So again, impress your friends. Hello to Mom, Michelle, Odell, Frank, Dave, whoever. Oh no, how do we get out of this? Oh, so the hello menu actually drops you back into the game. So let's see if we can do it again. What was it? I already forgot the combination. Where's the piece of paper I printed? All right, we have to get back into it now. So it goes 5, 10, 2, 8, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I did it. Look at that. I'm 2 for 2 with this. I know some people were saying it's like really hard to do. I just did it twice in a row. All right, so the hello thing, again, you can impress his friends and say, hey, I can make Mortal Kombat say hello to you. Enter initials. Look at this. So you can put your name on the leaderboard. You can totally cheat. So now I'm going to be on the leaderboard. So now I'm on the leaderboard, and it kicks you out of that. So you can put your name on the leaderboard and not even play the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. All right, I didn't do it that time. Uh-oh. Wait, let me look at the code again. We gotta get back in there. So it's 5, 10, 2, 8, 2. I'm not doing it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, come on. I got cocky there. Okay, there we go. All right, so hello, enter initials, and then character endings allows you to see the endings for all the characters. So, reptile. So if you were to get to the end of the game, beat everybody, you'll see this. Reptile's always... So what do you think? It's cool. I am surprised, though, that he didn't make it so he can get free games. That's surprising, isn't it? And he can only change the volume, though. He can't really screw with the operator's games. You know, it actually would have been pretty dangerous if that actually got out in the wild, wouldn't it? If somehow that got published in a magazine or something back in the day and everyone had that code and just go up to any Mortal Kombat and play for free. I wonder what other kind of Easter eggs are in these games. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have never subscribed to my channel, this would be a great time. Click the subscribe button down below. Be sure to like. You know, I think the likes are good, right? Thumbs up, right? Also, again, if you guys have questions or comments for the channel, send an email to me at john@johnsarcade.com. That's john@johnsarcade.com. Again, it could be a question, a comment, whatever. Also, check out my podcast, Video Game Outsiders, at videogameoutsiders.com. We do that show live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at videogameoutsiders.com. Or anytime during the week, just go to the iOS store or the Android Google Play Store and search for Video Game Outsiders. Download our app. It's the easiest way to listen to my weekly podcast called Video Game Outsiders. Again, just search for it in iOS or Android. Shows are completely free. There's also bonus content. You can get about 5, 6 extra shows a month for $2 a month only, and it's a great way to support what we're doing here. So anyway, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'll see you guys very soon. Actually, maybe sooner than you realize. I might do another video in a couple days here. We'll see. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'll see you very soon. Later, and bye.